See, students listen to Zoom sessions where students smile with relief to see one another and cheer with reconnected delight in hearing their teachers' familiar voice conduct a read aloud. Writing in notebooks became an exchangeable connection, providing informational currency on student emotional well-being. Locally, teachers provided milk craters outside school buildings for notebook drops. For some, the physical exchange of writing was one of the most equitable pieces that remained. Let's take a call now. Hello?
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 Hello, can you get me?
Hello?
Hello? Hello? Yeah, I'm able to hear you.
Hello?
Hello? I'm
Hello?
able to hear you.
Hello?
Hello, is it okay now?
Yeah, I can. It's audible. It's audible. Welcome to School Scan.
Thank you so much.
Your name, sir?
I am Srinivas.
Hello?
Hello, I am Srinivas from Chennai.
Mr. Srinivas, you're from Chennai. What do you do, Mr. Srinivas?
Basically I am a writer.
You're-
I am engaged in different types of literary occupation.
Okay, you are a writer.
Yes, basically I am a writer.
What do you write mostly?
I am writing on different issues relating to philosophy, then day-to-day application, then socialization, and all the other related issues.
Okay, I'll try to go near to your subjects about the present scenario. So what do you think of the present schools or schooling system, and what is the kind of philosophy they are following? What kind of philosophy they should be followed?
Yes, to start with, I'll say learning is always deemed as a very sacred activity in our country. It is considered so sacred that any amount of charging towards such an activity is deemed to be a great sin against the teacher or even against the parent. It is a voluntary transfer of knowledge from the learned to the one who is getting initiated into that particular type of knowledge. So of late we are seeing tremendous change in our educational domain with
So-
so many
Mr.
commercial
Srinivas,
organizations.
Mr.
Hello?
Srinivas,
Yes.
so I've been raising some points whenever I got a call. I just want to voice these questions mostly. See, there are few schools, there are few schools, I'm underlining few schools, not all the schools. So there are few schools, they are only concentrating on school fees, admission fee. There are number of fees, excursion fees, and there are few rules that you just have to compulsorily buy uniform, books, pencils, everything in school.
That's what we hear nowadays.
So what are these? What's going on? Who is going to control this? This is a thought to be controlled.
Yes, definitely.
And this is going to be completely commercial aspect. Instead of they concentrating on valuable education, their thoughts are diverted towards selling things.
Definitely. I am also quite worried about the present scenario in our educational system. It is showing a trend towards the commercialization of this very sacred activity, which is thoroughly not the need of the society. What we actually, the first reaction should come from the parents who are sending their wards to such institutes. If reaction sparks from there, certainly it will spread to the other domains of the society like the thinkers, the writers, the social activists, then slowly from there to the legislators, and finally it will take a shape by the government. Then some enactment comes and such evil practices will be curtailed eventually. So the first reaction must come from the parents. If the reaction is not seen from the parents, such evil tendencies will be there forever and ever.
So as you are a writer, you also listed the socialistic ideas and all.
Definitely.
So see, there are few schools they are charging unnecessarily the admission fee and a donation.
Yes.
So what do you think? Do you have children, Mr. Srinivas?
Yes, kids. I have a son.
Okay, what do he do? Is he studying?
He is studying in the 4th standard.
Fourth standard. So, what are your experiences in school about school fee or any other fees? What you pay in school?
Actually, we here at the Tamil Nadu, we have a different system of education,
Okay.
which is mostly aided by the government.
Okay.
So here the fee structure is quite adaptable, flexible, so that every parent can easily send their ward without any economic stress. So the education system at Tamil Nadu is little different from here and in Kerala. In these two states, government is funding the education. So the stress is less on the parents. And in the rest of the country, it is mostly a kind of big burden for the parents to see their children get educated properly.
So your son is studying in a government school.
Yeah, it's a government aided school.
I also have some doubts, Mr. Srinivas. The common people, what they think, or they have thoughts like joining in government schools doesn't get you a valuable education. This is a stigma they have implanted in their brains.
Actually, it is more of social, it's a demonstrative effect more than the right thinking by the parents. Demonstratively, if the neighbor is sending his children to some very big institute, the center, then naturally the other parents also would feel like sending their children to such institutes like international schools or something like that. But what we really have to think about is that what type of education, what type of value-based education we want to give to our child. First, every parent has to question oneself. Then, if he finds that the government institutes are offering the education which is aspired by them, then there is no point in sending or in paying so much, paying so heavily and getting the children admitted in international schools.
Mr. Srinivas, is education a commodity?
Education can never be a commodity.
Is education a share?
Process of knowledge.
Is education a share price, a share, a stock?
Never.
So, because of a valuable education, what can we expect? What changes can we see?
Actually, we have to view education as the sacred flow of knowledge from the teacher to the student. If this perspective is within every parent and in the society, naturally, so many good things will crop up. Here, the society is lacking in the true understanding of the concept of education. They think that if their children are somehow admitted into some very big international school or some extensive school, then their future is safe. But it is never assured that way.
See, this education is not a commodity and not a stock. So, why are they commercializing? And also one more point, why don't they only keep a single fee? Why there is a menu of fee?
No, that is where the private management is very intelligent enough to deceive people, because the parents also are looking for different types of revenue. Like if a parent just told that their son will be given extracurricular activities like dancing or swimming or horse riding in addition to the regular schooling, then definitely they would think that that would be an added qualification for him and that would differentiate him from the rest of the children. So they are ready to pay more also. So that way the management, the private management are trying to cheat the parents by inducing such newer and newer elements or newer varieties of things. And the parents also get deluded by the same.
Then how the schooling system should be changed, or what they have to do?
Actually, by schooling, everyone must be sent to school, and he must have 10+2 type of education, wherein the primary education 1 to 5 is really the foundation. During that part of time, he should be given some scope for logical thinking, development of the different faculties of the mind. Then the cognitive levels of the child should be increased, and there should also be some focus on the memory.
Mr. Srinivas, please wait.
Yeah.
It's not audible, please. Mr. Srinivas? Hello?
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 Hello? Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. It's audible.
Hello?
Please continue.
Hope you are hearing me.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, I am able to get you.
I can hear you now. I can hear you.
Yeah, nice.
So please continue, Mr. Srinivas.
Okay. Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Please.
Yep, yeah, please continue, Mr. Srinivas.
Yeah, we were speaking about the activity of learning.
Yes,
That is very sacred in our country.
yes,
And the same ideology must be used in the present society too. Because learning, whether in the yesteryear or in the present situation or in future to come, will forever remain a sacred activity. That will not change. Only the perspective of the society should change. If such positive change crops up in the society, really it will usher a golden age for the education.
Mr. Srinivas, hello?
Yes,
See, only the system, they are just sugarcoating the system. They are just showing good uniforms and they are just showcasing good books. But
yes,
valuable education and analytical or the common sense, basic part is common sense. But there are few more things are missing. So what any child should be getting. You're getting it, mate?
yes, exactly. That is what is happening.
So a school is nothing but not only wearing a nice uniform,
Yes,
number of books, it's also what the child is acquiring, what the student is acquiring. That's also a very important aspect.
definitely.
So who are going to concentrate on that? Why are schools not giving importance on those aspects?
Because now there is a lot of competition with the private institutions. Intra-competition is very much there. So their focus is mainly on retaining the student, then increasing the student-teacher ratio. So they have got their own pressures. They are not able to focus on the real educational needs of the student. So what is happening is, here the child is at a loss. The external manifestation, as you have said, the uniform and books, bags, badges, then all the other paraphernalia are being focused. But the real input, the education, is not finding that type of focus by the teachers as well as uncared by the parents too. Parents are also very happy to see their child dressed gorgeously and living in a very air-conditioned school buses or something like that. They are seeing only the external aspect of it, but they are not focusing whether the child's cognitive levels are increasing, or whether the grasping power of the child is increasing, or whether the IQ of the child is increasing. They are least bothered about it. So when parents are not caring for this, the exploitation of the schools will continue in the same way, or it might even increase also.
Mr. Srinivas, see, most of the people, they are really busy in thinking about the valuable education to be given to children.
Yes.
So, who are going to concentrate on parents?
Exactly. Pardon,
What
I am not
kind
able
of
to
education is valuable? It should start there.
Yeah.
Before you go to school or before you join your young one into a school,
Yes.
who are going to counsel their parents? What is education? Which education is valuable education? Who are going to counsel them?
Actually,
There should be some counseling centers for parents also.
definitely, that is the need of the hour also. Some counseling should be there. That counseling, the parents can get from some educational counselor, or they can gather data, because ours is a traditional society and we have got enormous opportunity to look into the depths of our own being. We have our own ways of ascertaining what is good for us and what is the real need of this particular, all these things we can get from our own tradition. Now the worst part is, as we are away from our true roots of the society, we are being exposed to a different kind of situation because the Western education is deeply rooted in their own civilization, whereas our civilization is rooted in our own principles, but the present culture is completely different from our ancient civilization. So a mismatch is taking place. That is why we are not able to adapt to this end or to that end.
And
This
also
kind of
one more
dilemma.
thing I want to specify,
Yeah.
along with counseling of parents, there should be
Yes.
some counseling centers also for teachers, because there are some impatient teachers.
Yes, this is very valuable point
Impatient
you have made.
teachers, and there should be some psychological aspect should be improved for teachers also. How to behave with
Definitely.
students, how to understand
Definitely.
a student, and how many students are understanding the concepts.
Definitely, all these things. There
It's
are
not only about writing on the board and taking attendance
yes,
or giving a mark sheet.
yes,
You understanding, Mr. Srinivas?
yes. I am. I
It's
am
not
able
only
to-
about giving mark sheets or
Yes.
taking attendance or writing on the board. It's also the basic duty or most pivotal duty is that to understand or to scan each and every student.
Definitely.
So
That
what
is
are
the real purpose.
the important things to be taken for a teacher?
No, as you
understand
have
the
rightly
child, to
said,
understand the student.
more than the parents, the teachers also need to be given the right counseling because nowadays the teachers accept this profession, hoary profession, as just one of the occasions to make a living. That's where the education system is showing up its real bad effects. The educational activity, the teaching is something very different occasion. This is in fact getting very closer to the heart of the student, making him imbibe the essence of knowledge methodically and in a very predefined way. So it's a very selective, sensitive process of transferring what we have inherited, what we have really imbibed to the young ones. So such a profession needs to be taken up by those teachers who are really passionate about spreading the true fruits of knowledge to the next generation or posterity. If that feeling is lacking with the teachers, definitely they would mess up with this very concept of education. The education will really become a kind of commercial activity wherein the teacher enters the classroom, he or she follows some formalities, will be there for half an hour or so, and then she will be away from the students. But that shouldn't be called education. There should be a permanent bond between teacher and the student. Every move of the student should be noticed by the teacher. And education is always an activity which is unique to every student. No two students are alike, can never be alike. So the teacher must take sufficient care to impart education as per the grasping powers, abilities of individual student. Then only teaching becomes success, education, learning will really take place, transfer of knowledge will be there.
And there is
Such
also a
care
strong thought in
will-
the parents that the education is about winning a certificate.
That's
They'll
a
be
big
saying,
misconception.
you just go to school and get the certificate. Afterwards,
Yes.
you do whatever you want.
Yes.
You might have heard this many times, or you also might be going to say this to your child.
No, never. Because I never have that type of
Then,
misconceptions within me.
your child is
I'm
really
very
lucky.
clear with my child. He should gain knowledge. Gaining certificate is secondary. It will happen somehow. But what is primary is gaining of the knowledge. If knowledge is not gained, then the very purpose of learning is defeated. So focus should be only on the grasping, on the reception of the knowledge, and how the child
Mr. Srinivas,
processes that knowledge.
I want one more question for you.
Please.
You joined your son in a government school, right?
Yes.
So, how many people are happy to join their kids in a government school, and how many parents are reluctant to join their kids in a government school?
Actually, nowadays some good trend is seen. Most of my friends and colleagues are also willing to take up the line which is adopted by me. They are planning to send their children to government aided schools because they are performing wonderfully well. There is no dearth for faculty or for other facilities like libraries or these playgrounds or any other theaters or anything. So when all the facilities are there, when the faculty is good, I don't know why parents should take a second look at considering their children being sent to such schools. So it has to happen from within. We can't force anybody. It's their own individual life. So they have to take up they have to really reflect and arrive at some solution.
So are government schools capable of giving valuable educations than private schools?
Yeah, definitely. Government schools have the motive of giving the education, whereas the private schools, by their very nature, can give only information, can never give the education. So there is a lot of difference. Private schools are not meant for education. They are meant only for information transmission.
Okay. Then why most of the people they are joining their kids in private schools?
Because they are not able to understand the difference between information and education. The lack of understanding makes them consider information being superior to education and other paraphernalia being superior to real learning. So when such a misconception is there, naturally it will be exploited by the private management. And
most of the government schools they are giving free education, I guess, right?
Where?
Or the fee is very, very low when compared to private schools.
Yeah,
you don't need to spend much.
Actually, what we pay is really quite nominal. Very nominal fee we pay towards the school fees or anything like that. It's quite nominal.
Then what government schools should have to do to gain more strength?
Government schools are also lacking in few departments, like they are not able to focus on the activity-based learning, that is for sure. And a few more areas are there where they have to really equip themselves, because the getting funds, there will be some process for getting funds or allocation or sanction of any small thing. So it will take time. That particular aspect of time should be reduced, and also some staff should be increased, periodically reviewed. Then if such measures are taken up, definitely government schools can outperform. They can really outbeat the private institutions. I really firmly believe this.
Well, right now your son is 4th grade, right?
Yes.
So you joined in government school. So how long you are going to continue a government school or a government institution?
I think up to 10+2. See, I will tell you a wonder. Till the 10+2 or intermediate, every parent is running after the private school. But at the time of joining their children into the professional courses, every parent dreams of getting seat in some government college, either government medical college or government engineering college. See the difference. All the while they want their children to be studied only in the private school. But when it comes to professional education, they really try by all means so that their child secures seat in the government institution. That's why the governments in Tamil Nadu or Kerala are trying to give education also from the government side, then take the child through the schooling and college education, and still later into research activity too.
And what are the differences between a government school and a private school, the education systems?
Actually, the educational module or the methodology which is followed in the government schools is really excellent, because it is designed by NCERT, ICSE and CBSE committees are there, different school learning committees are there. Those educational committees plan and they issue orders, and those are being followed in the government school in conjunction with the specific
And
or
also
particular
one more
state
thing,
rules.
I'm really, excuse me, there are most of the private schools, they advertise about their schools.
Yes.
It might be hoardings or paper cuttings or in many other ways.
Yes, in various ways.
Yeah, various ways. So, who is going to advertise, who are going to advertise a government school? So, a government should advertise. So, it might be a leader or who is going to take care of the schools, right? Who is in
Yes.
charge of the school.
Exactly.
Are you expecting them to do that, or is it unnecessary?
Now I'll tell you, the private management are advertising their own schools, whereas the students who are churned out by the government institutions are the best advertisement for the government schools.
See, for example,
They
if the
really
headmaster of the
outperform
school,
when it comes
see, there
to-
are many headmasters for each and every school, right?
Yes.
Why don't that headmaster go to a society or a member, a library, or they can go there and they can advertise their school, they can say about the school, see, you can join your children in our school, we are giving this kind of education. Don't you think this should be happen?
Actually,
Because a government employee is paid more than a private employee.
definitely that is always there.
And there are
No,
no
I-
cuttings when compared to a private employee, a private
Yes.
teacher.
You are right. You are right. No, it all happens. It all depends on the mindset of the society in which you are living.
How
If
is
the
this mindset
society-
going to be changed?
Only through the process of
And who
reflection.
created this mindset?
This mindset is created by the private agencies, the private administratives, the private school management. Deliberately, they try to impinge a wrong set of values on the parents. So the parents are misled by those things and they get carried away by wrong notions. And eventually their child pays the heavy price.
Okay.
So, this is about it.
The so-called power, who are
Yes.
the people who are going to organize these schools, why they distinguished into government and private? Why it can't be only one instead of confusing people?
Actually, ours is a developing country, as you all know. In the developed countries, there are no private institutions and public institutions. There is no demarcation. Actually, the entire education is offered free there. In the European countries like Norway, then in some parts of Spain and in Italy, it is offered free to all the students without any kind of discrimination. So, when education is offered free, even in German institutions also, till they call it gymnasium, there the education is offered free. So German schools are they are performing wonderfully well because they are open to all, they are free. Anybody with aptitude can join those schools. So when such facility is there and when teachers are really passionate about teaching the real value education to the students, you can see the results which Germany and other European countries are making, their impact only through such education. Education alone determines the fate of any country, whether it's India or Europe or US or Africa. Education is the only factor, critical factor, crucial factor, which determines the fate of that particular country, whether it is going to lead or will be led by some country.
So it's not only about government or private. There are also kind of syllabus. There are number of syllabuses.
Yes.
Like 4 to 5 different syllabus are there.
Yeah, in India presently we
The
are having
IB, state,
yes.
CBSE.
Yes, actually in India
So,
presently we are having the
How will
CBSE
parents
pattern of
know that which
education.
syllabus is good?
Actually, parents have to do some kind of research into all these things before considering what is best for them. Because
Don't you
some
think
effort is required.
instead of parents, the government should think about this?
No, government, you can't expect government to invest its time and energies on
Because education is going to be the future, right?
Yeah,
If you
that's why
can't,
they have taken they have taken all the measures to establish governmental institutions. They are providing the staff, they are providing the facilities, they are giving all the amenities. But they can't induce or attract people to enter them. It is the job of the society to. Every parent has to reflect, discriminate for oneself. How am I going to admit my, how am I going to educate my child? That is the question of responsibility of the parent more than the government. So when that question is faced by the parents within, naturally good results will come up. Parents, when they are reflective, they will take good decisions, and those good decisions in course of time will bring about wonderful results.
and if there is a politician,
Yes.
have you ever heard or have you ever seen that a son or a daughter of politician studying in a government school?
Nowadays it
Or
is quite unheard.
all the politicians in India, all their young ones are studying in government schools?
Yeah, for your kind information, I would tell the children of top politicians are not in India itself. They are getting educated abroad. That's the beauty of it. So whoever is left out, they are in some international schools
So
like
what do
those
we
schools
understand
are
by this act?
No, they say it is due to the security reasons that their children are studying, not studying in the regular schools.
Okay,
They have got
security.
their own reasons to
Okay.
offer.
Hello?
Hello, please. We can continue.
Hello?
Hello, are you? Hello.
Could you please continue? Your
Yeah.
voice is not audible, sir.
Okay, maybe the signal is like that.
Okay.
Now, is it okay? Hello?
Hello?
Is it okay now? Is it okay
Yeah,
now?
yeah, better.
Oh, okay. I think if the signal is getting attenuated
Okay.
sometime. You have any question for me further?
No, sir, thank you so much for calling. That's really nice to know. And we just want to voice few of the questions about the fee structure and the kind of syllabus and the valuable education, so-called valuable education, because
Yes.
the people are confused often with the kind of education, what they are giving and what they have to get.
Yes. Actually, I am also quite happy to have joined this session of School Scan program, which is being organized by the
Thank you so
CVR
much,
English
sir.
channel. My thanks to the management.
Thank you
and
so much,
to
sir.
you all. Thank you.
Keep watching School Scan. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
So it's a special drive on educational institutions. Keep calling School Scan. The number is above top of my head, 040-477-99967. Many districts paid food with book and notebook exchanges and assurance of literacy continuing at home while bringing parents along in their most important role, educational facilitators, the opportunity to transform education. Denise Fawcett Facey was a classroom teacher for more than 2 decades and now writes on education issues. Among her books, Can I Be in Your Class offers tips and techniques for whole child education that makes learning more engaging and relevant. And unsettling as this pandemic has been, we have both the responsibility and the opportunity to transform education for the better. Addressing existing problems spotlighted by the pandemic as well as those created by it, educators can change the way school looks and operates in the fall, physically, emotionally and academically. Physically, there will be changes that impact students and teachers' personal space, while structural changes likely will change classrooms permanently. Everyone will need to wear masks all day in school. Don't forget that at this particular time. Distancing will not only mean placing desks at least 6 feet apart, but also reconfiguring passing from class to class. This might entail directional arrows on the floors, keeping students in one direction. Multiple class sessions will be needed. Double sessions or staggered sessions to accommodate the smaller class sizes necessitated by social distancing. That's all for now. Keep watching School Scan. Thank you very much.